morning. Just getting started here. Um, Last night we created a new day opening gap, trade above it, below it, above it, below it. See the market maker buy model here. Over the 5 minute chart, it's a lot more apparent, but we created that. Um, this was the last wick to come inside here in this fair value gap right here. Um, And at CPI, we seeing as we came down into this fair value gap, we didn't need to go lower, so we just went higher. Then as we opened, we've traded down. I'm guessing this is around 950. I'm gonna say this is probably above the midpoint of this wick, upper quadrant of this uh, data wick here, or just this wick here in general. So we're now trading back into the first presented fair value gap. And I want to see how we trade inside of here. So I'm actually going to grade this because prices, we've just had a pretty large range this morning. And after that big of a move on data, I think it's smart to play it safe. So we want to see how we treat this here, especially the quadrants of it. Um, This could become an order block, but I'm going to wait and see if we can close above here. We've got relative equal highs right here, couple right here, and then we also have them right here. Um, so that's a pretty good area to seek. I don't know if we're going to seek it this morning or if we come back for it later in the afternoon. Uh, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. So gonna go ahead and grade this here, and from there we'll get into some further analysis. So we want to see if this current candle here just starts to head straight up. If it does, that's a pretty good signal that we will continue higher. I like that, but again, I'm not rushing to take an entry here, considering the sort of delivery that we've seen this morning, the large range delivery. So this current candle will probably be the most important candle um, for a while. I want to see if it closes down or if it wicks up, or not wicks up, but just trades up and closes above the midpoint of this candle here. If it doesn't close above the midpoint of this candle here, I don't necessarily think we're going to go lower, but I do think we'd just trade sideways for a while in price discovery. And what I'd want to see to think that price is going to move quickly is this candle or the very next candle. So a combination of the two coming up and closing above this here. Honestly, not very bearish on the 5 minute. So it does look like we'll be trading sideways for a bit here. Unless this current candle zooms higher. That's the caveat. But I don't think it even needs to come below here. We'll see. I'll wait. I think it's going to continue higher, but I'd rather get a better entry. I think we're going to see a really strong explosive candle here. But I don't like the risk that I would have to put on. So I'm going to wait for it. So I think we'll see some displacement right here. Okay. So just seeing some inefficient delivery right there. Unfortunately, we got caught right as it got inefficient, but again, I think this is going to expand here. But it seems a 5 minute basis is going to be what helps most. Right, so on this candle, let's look for some large displacement higher. I'm going to wait until we get some follow through in price. But I do think we start to see that displacement now. And we'll remain sidelined here until we get that. Unfortunately, got caught in that entry at the start of an efficient delivery. But I'd be very surprised. Very surprised if this candle here isn't the one that displaces higher. I'm not going to take that because with this inefficient delivery, that's a bit of a risk. So I want to see us get out of this. We're also on top of, I think, yesterday's high. So I want to see us trade through that. I do think it'll be very strong. But the good thing about that is if it's strong and quick, we'll be able to move to a lower time frame and still take advantage of it. Yeah, it's still just a lot of risk to take the entry. So we should get the displacement candle here. Expecting a big, strong push. A lot slower than I'm expecting or expected. So first looking for these relative equal highs. Very slow though. So that's probably the wick before taking us higher. Want to watch it. I'm not just gonna run in there, but I want to watch it to see how it closes here. Still looking to take these relative equal highs. We should get a pretty strong displacement candle here. Very slow. So this candle should start to head straight up. Seeing a bit of price discovery there. Okay. Now this one should give us that push we've been looking for. I'm going to move this in to cover commissions, but we should start to see that push right here. It's a little more lethargic than I would expect. Just going to take two off here. So just going to take one more off. It's a little lethargic. So maybe the next candle opens in here and then starts to push higher. But I would have expected expected us to have gone through this, gone through these at this point. So my thought is the lethargy is going to lead to one massive candle going through. And we did just close um, outside of the first presented fair value gap for the first time. So that should provide a bit of strength in this delivery. So this might be the candle here. It's so lethargic. Like I was just looking for price to take out these relative equal highs, but the lethargy makes me think that we're going to blast higher and not even care about these highs, just run through them and not look back. No displacement really so far in any of these candles. So pretty close now to taking those relative equal highs. It's the high 03075. Just about there. We ran this, but I'm looking to at least run these. So I'd like to see this be a pretty strong displacement candle. It may not be, but I'd like to see this or one of the next three, well, next two, this one or one of the two after it, start to shoot us higher through here. Okay, so we just barely ran this. I'm gonna take another one off. Just waiting to see the displacement candle. This one. Watch the speed and magnitude on this one. $15 left, but so far I'm surprised that it wasn't as um, strong as of a candle as I've been expecting of it. I think we've just about run these highs. So I'll take one off there and leave the last one. And I'll just bring this into this wick here. So I think we're close. Old 4325. So right about here. Um, Once we run that, I want to see. I guess I want to see how we run it, um, because that will determine whether or not I hold on to the contract. If we blast through it with a pretty large candle, and that candle holds, I'll hold on to the contract a little bit longer. But if we blast through and then create a wick and come back down, that may be an indication that we'll want to go higher. But I'd rather just get rid of the contract and lock in the premium there. 4325. Wow, we hit it to the tick. So let's see. Let's see if we blast through it or if we just leave it here and create new relative equal highs, come lower, and then run that later on. Possible scenario as well. Super dreary. Yeah, we might be slowing down for a little bit here. We got to see how this candle closes. Unfortunately, it could come lower, but we got to see whether or not this current candle comes lower or starts the run higher, another leg higher. So, got to wait another 30 seconds. But this candle is of pretty big significance. Interesting. Let's watch this one. I think this one should start to go straight up. Um, just based on the way that this one closed in relation to these ones over here. We should want to see this one start to head straight up. But again, price has been super dreary, so we may not get that. Okay, so we might seek some sell side liquidity before moving forward if this current candle doesn't close up in this area. So we'll move this in here because if this comes lower, I'd rather just be stopped out than to let it come all the way down here because we don't know where it would form its next leg up if it were to come down. At least I don't know. Time traveler, but I can't travel that far. Oh boy, we're going to see some speed here. Doesn't mean it's going to go up, but it does look like the price engine just engaged. So we're going to see a little faster of candles here, I believe. Okay, so we just ran that. Now we want to see if we create a full bodied candle or if we create a wick. If we create a wick, we're either going to hang out where we are before the next leg up, or we could turn around and go lower. If we have a full bodied candle, that's a little bit better for getting us higher more quickly. So, gotta see how this is. It's a full bodied candle. I don't love it, but it's better. So I'm just gonna move this in here. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. And we can see this get immediately rebalanced. So price trading into this candle here. We could also see it trade into this one, and then the very next one push us higher. But I do want to see some speed and magnitude here. We haven't seen any speed or magnitude this whole delivery. All right. We quite honestly may wait until the 1050 macro to do anything. Looks like we're gonna get stopped out here. Um, so we did seek this. These relative equal highs here. And let's watch this. This might come up. Just at least watch it while I'm giving this little description. But we sought these. Right now we're kind of sideways. I do anticipate price starting to pick up as we move closer to the 1050 macro. And I think we'll run through this before before the lunch session. I think we'll run these highs. But price is super dreary. So I think part of it is to get people to get bored of waiting for this and being impatient. But I do expect to run these. We got stopped out. We got stopped out twice before actually getting the entry that was going to take us higher. And the second stop out was the candle that was setting up this move. So just watch for this to go higher. That's it for me for now. As always, good luck, good trading, be safe.